So today we're going to learn how to do noses realistically, and every week I'm going to add a new facial feature until we do a whole face. So what I have here is two kind of already done, and then I'm going to do them again here. So it's a 4x4 square that I just kind of gave myself, and I'm going to draw these lines to help me kind of get my proportions correct. So if you have a ruler, make the lines, and if you don't have a ruler, then just kind of eyeball it. I'm going 2 inches in, so that's the middle of this square. Let me just do this square really dark so that you can see what square I'm working in. Okay, so this is the square I'll be working in first. And I measured, put the 0 at the line, I measured 2 inches in. And I'm gonna do an up and down line. Try and make it as parallel as possible. So you don't want it like that, you don't want it like that. And I'm gonna do it really light because we'll be erasing this. Okay, it's just to help me get my proportions correctly. And along that line, I'm lining 0 up here, and 4 should be hitting at the bottom. I'm gonna go an inch up and make a little mark, and an inch down and make a little mark. And then I'm gonna go half an inch up from this mark. So right there in between the 2 and the 3. Okay, and those are the marks I'm going to draw sideways lines going across. And these are gonna kind of help me to make sure my nose is proportionate, okay? All right, so now that I have that, we're gonna start with the front view of the nose. Now, the bottom of the nose should fall right here. And remember, this up and down line is our center line. So make sure that it's, if I go out this far on this side, I wanna go out that far on this side. And you don't need to measure this, but just eyeball it. You're gonna start with a circle, all right? And it should go from the bottom of this line to the top of this half. So it's a 1/2 inch tall, the circle. And again, everything we're doing is light, okay? Then on the side of the circle, the nostrils are gonna come out as like an oval on each side. So however big I did my nostrils on this side, I wanna do it on this side. All right, don't color anything in yet. Then the actual side of your nose, of your nostrils, is going to come and curve around. So there's a little bit of space between the actual nose hole and the side of your nostril. All right, so you don't want it like touching that line. You want some space there. Now, a lot of people when they draw noses draw 2 lines going up. You actually don't ever want to draw a hard line. When I say a hard line, I mean a line like that, okay? We're going to be drawing soft shading lines. So in order to do that, what you're gonna do is basically go just a little bit out on each side. And that's my, do you see this right here? It's really light. That's my guide for where my shading starts. Everything here is gonna stay white. And everything from here, you can see it better on this one. Everything, so this stays white. Everything from here to here gets shaded. So I'm gonna start, and then once it hits here, it starts to curve around your eye socket, all right? So I'm gonna very lightly and going in sloped diagonal lines, because that's our nose, right? Curves up, over, and around, down. So we want our brush strokes or our pencil strokes to go in the direction that our nose goes, and it slopes down, right? And I'm pressing really light, and I'm only going basically not past the nostril. The shading won't go past this, okay? It's a little bit in from that. And it's not gonna go on the bridge of the nose or the top of the nose. Okay, and then I'm gonna smooth it. If I end up getting some on the bridge, just erase it. Then you're gonna come back and do it this way too. Again, it's pointed down, diagonally going down to make it look like it's arching down. So now I've got my shadows on each side, making it look 3D. If you want, towards the bottom, it's going to be a little bit darker because it's further down. So I can add another layer of shading towards the bottom. It's going to be darker, right? Adding even more depth. Then you want to add just a little bit of shading under the tip of the nose, just at the very bottom. And it's going to kind of curve on each side of the line. All right, then we're going to add some shading in between here and the nostril. All right, now the nostril at the very top, it's going to be the darkest, and then it's going to get a little lighter because it's closer to us. We can see the very bottom of the nostril. All right, so add a little bit more here, blend this a little better so that it's slowly going from dark to light, not just like a strip or a stripe. All right, so we've got our front view nose, and these are kind of skinny nostrils. If you want them to go further out, then further out. You can kind of make it, you know, customize it to how you want, but all of them are going to start with the basic circle in the middle. Okay, now a side view. Let's do an up and down line right here, and I'll show you how to do the side view of the nose. So the curve, the circle, is going to be seen from the side here. So we're seeing it like this. And the nostril is going to come up like this. We're going to kind of see it curve around, and we'll see this side part come around and connect in. All right. So the shading will be along the bottom, just like the front view. But there'll also be shading right here where it's forming that nostril from the side. So like we're viewing it right over there. Okay, now this will go all the way up to the top line, and there'll be shading along that line. So that's going to be the view from the side. And then let's show you this one since we only have a few minutes left. I'm going to do another front view, and this one I'll do, again, just fully shaded. And this is broken down a little bit more into shapes so you can really see from the basic shape. So again, then you would, by the way, erase these lines when you were done. So you draw them super light. I'm drawing them kind of dark so that you guys can see them through the camera, but if you're gonna draw these guidelines, draw them really light because you're gonna have to erase them. You don't want lines going through your nose. So again, we're starting with our circle and our nostril here. I'm gonna have this dip kind of below the nostril. And now, again, not a hard line, but a very soft line here. And now this one kind of goes up to the forehead. So we'll see that there's basically like a triangle in between where your eyes would be. So your eyes are gonna be along this line, all right? And the shading goes from here to basically the side of the nostril. So again, we're working our way down on each side. Down on each side. There'll be like all this part, this bottom part gets shaded. To show it's the underside. Right here it gets shaded. Okay, now when you get up closer to the eye, it's going to start getting darker right here. And the shading starts to turn to go up and above the eye. And then this side of the line, it goes down below the eye. So it's going to start going around the eye for the shading. So going up along that triangle and going down. Okay, so the more you guys do these, the better you're gonna get. Practice as many noses as you can this week, and next week we'll do an eye drawing and we can start adding in eyes along this line. And then the week after that, we'll do a mouth.